Today, I want to give tribute to one of NASCAR's greatest drivers. Two-time Cup Series champion Kyle Busch unfortunately lost his life last Thursday at just the age of 41, just days before the Coca-Cola 600. It's more than the accolades that make Kyle Busch one of the greatest ever get behind the wheel of a stock car. Obviously, 63 Cup wins, ninth all time, the two championships I mentioned before, all-time wins leader in the O'Reilly and the Truck Series, but it's also his off-the-track impact, whether that be through Kyle Busch Motorsports and how he allowed so many drivers, even today, to get an opportunity to race in NASCAR, but also through one of the biggest fan bases in NASCAR, even today, Rowdy Nation. These are fans that will fight tooth and nail for their driver, whether it was back in the days with Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, or in his latter years with RCR. These are some of the most die-hard fans that the sport has to offer, and I think that they deserve a platform to show why they love Kyle Busch so much. Now, I'm not a member of Rowdy Nation. I was a Dale Jr. fan growing up, and currently Kyle Larson is my favorite driver. So today, I am enlisting the help of Kyle Busch fans and asking them what Kyle Busch meant to them and what it meant to be a member of Rowdy Nation.
Kyle Busch was everything right about NASCAR. He was the man that would give everything he has every single weekend to win, and anything outside of winning was unacceptable for Kyle Busch terms. I am truly honored to have been able to watch all the races that he's been involved in throughout his entire career. I never really knew NASCAR without Kyle Busch, and especially without his brother Kurt. But Kyle was such an exceptional talent and an amazing family man who was once just another punk kid in the racing industry. He will be sorely missed, and my prayers are with Samantha.
Honestly, I don't even know how to start this, but I'll go on and just start with saying that Kyle Busch definitely was my definition of NASCAR for a long time. I saw the silver and red Toyota just beating everyone's behind that day, and it kind of stuck with me. I just knew a long time that he was my guy. I went to war for him a lot, and all like between my friends who watch NASCAR and even the friends who didn't watch NASCAR, they still knew like names like Johnson and Gordon, and I would always say like, yeah, but like they're not Kyle Busch though, because the things I saw that man do, he truly made me believe that anything was possible in a race car. I couldn't believe just the talent that this man had, no matter what he drove. There's been times where I cried a lot during some of his losses. I remember it was the 2009 Coke 0400, and I was watching with my mom, and I was jumping up and down when I saw Kyle Busch take the white flag that lap. And then I remember I was bawling out, crying, sobbing when he cleared up on Tony Stewart. Now that I'm older, I realized it was a bad block, but at the time, Kyle Busch could do no wrong. He was the greatest driver to ever drive. I was always there as a fan. Like I was always there cheering for him, even though he wasn't up front like doing the things he used to do. But I always gave an excuse. I never believed it was him as a driver being washed. I always believed it was always something that I could point to that wasn't him, because he was still Kyle Busch to me. There was nothing to him that would make me believe he was anything less than the greatest. I'm so grateful to be able to say, through my 18 years of being a NASCAR fan, 18, funny, there's been no one, and I mean no one, that has come close to the greatness that I put Kyle Busch on. He was the driver that I would race in every video game I would make in like Roblox leagues or iRacing leagues. I would always run some form of the 18 or an M&M's car or whatever scheme of his that it just resonated with me. Some of his top schemes were the doublemint car. I know not a lot of people loved his doublemint car, but I have fond memories, a very vivid memory of him getting the sweep in 2010. I don't care what anyone says about 2015. That was such a great year for Kyle Busch. And like, I know what a lot of people say, like, oh, he only raced 11 races, but from a pure driving perspective, that was probably some of the best Kyle Busch driving we had seen up to that point. I mean, I was so happy that I was old enough to really be able to appreciate just what that meant And even now, as I look at drivers that are racing now, I can't see anyone really touching the peaks that Kyle Busch was able to hit.
What's going on, guys? Dalton Good here, aka Dalton Ridey Busch. So, what Kyle Busch meant to me, really all I could say is I had a hell of a ride because of him. We went to my Nana's house one weekend in February. We were all on the couch. It was a Saturday night. We're flipping through the channels trying to find something to watch, and we scrolled past the driver intros for the Budweiser Shootout in 2007 as we were changing the channels, and I yelled at my mom. I was like, hey, go back. What is that? And just happened to be the driver intros, and it made me remember NASCAR again after I completely forgot about it. My mom was like, well, Dalton, who are you going to pull for? I'm like, well, who's the driver of the 5 car? And they told me it was Kyle Busch, so I was like, okay, let's see what he's got. Little did I know that was going to be the best decision I ever made. And it didn't take long for me to realize that, because I remember 1 month after, I chose Kyle. I went to the Bristol Spring Race in 2007, first race of the car tomorrow, and I went with my dad. We weren't supposed to go, like it was sold out, but I had somebody at my church who gave us tickets, and we ended up going last minute. Went straight to the merch hauler as soon as we got there, bought me a Kyle Busch 5 Kellogg shirt. Sat there, watched the race. I remember sitting next to a guy who had a number 5 haircut, like on the back of his head, which was so awesome. And sat right next to him. We were both having a good time. And, my first race as a Kyle Busch fan, Kyle wins at Bristol, my hometown track. So that's when I knew, like, I made the right decision. Like, that's when the ride really took off. And it just got better from there, as one of Kyle's biggest diehard fans, I was so lucky and fortunate to witness a lot of historic moments from him. I ended up watching him win 8 more Bristol races at my hometown track right after that. I also was fortunate enough to witness his first championship at Homestead, Miami in 2015, thanks to my mom. Me and my mom both watched him break both his legs to start the season, and I really didn't believe he would be in a position where he could win the championship that year. But fortunate enough, he came back, won 5 races, made the chase, and made the championship race. And my mom was like, Dalton, if this ends up being Kyle's first championship, like, you need to be there. And I couldn't agree more. So I went back to school. My mom went to work. She found tickets the very next day, and we set our plans. We went to Orlando to start the weekend, to spend a couple days at Disney and have some mother-son time. And woke up Sunday morning. I drove from Orlando to Miami the very next morning, and I got to witness Kyle win his first championship. And I will never, ever, ever have that much fun again. Got to witness that. I got to witness a Coca-Cola 600 in 2018, and watched him win at Richmond back in 2011, that beautiful M&M pretzel car. And the last Cup win I ever saw him win was the Talladega Spring Race in 2023. So in total, I got to watch 13 Cup wins from Kyle. I saw some Xfinity and truck wins too, but there were so many of those I kind of lost count. But I witnessed a lot of those as well. I got to watch him win everywhere I went. I was very fortunate enough to do that. Really, the point I'm trying to make is the ride wasn't all about the wins I saw. It was how the ride changed my life so much, because I was just a little kid, in East Tennessee. I didn't really have NASCAR fans that were around me. I had friends in school and such, but like none of them were as diehard of a NASCAR fan as I am. He was a huge impact on my life, and he changed it for the better. And thanks to him, I got to meet great people. And also because of him, I got to achieve my goals, chase my dream, and get to where I want to be. So I am here right now where I'm at in life because of that guy in the number 8 car. and I will forever be thankful. Kyle, thank you so much for everything. You don't understand. I really don't think you understand how big of an impact you were in my life and how you changed it so much. So, but I just hate you're gone. But I'm going to make you a promise to always wear your merch to every track I go to. Keep your legacy alive. Wave the flags that I got. I will make sure you are not forgotten. And I hope that every other Kyle Busch fan follows me and does the same thing. So.
It's really funny how easy an M&M's car can catch the eye of a 5-year-old child. But in my case, that is exactly what happened. Ever since the day I went to a restaurant and Kyle Busch's car was just sitting there in the lobby for absolutely no reason, that's when I started watching NASCAR and absolutely fell in love with this great sport today. Every time I go to the track, every single time, it was always a goal to try and find this guy and meet him, as most people have that same goal. And, well, I'd say I was very lucky to meet him twice one-on-one. Yeah. One of them was that restaurant I talked about, and the other one I got really lucky to get to play a Family Feud game with him. So, anytime you had any sort of interaction with him, you could tell he was all in with the fans. Versus other drivers, they're just there, in their eyes, they're only signing an autograph or something like that for you. But you'd always see Kyle talking to other people, trying to get to know their stories and what they're doing at the track, what brought them there. Most drivers wouldn't do that. So the fact that Kyle tried to make something out of all the fans is what meant the most to me.
Kyle Busch was a winner. He was a champion, an opener of opportunities. He was a father, a husband, brother, mentor, and so much more. The history of the sport cannot be told without Rowdy. So for that, I want to say thank you.
Thank you, Kyle Busch.
Cheers to you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle. Forever Rowdy.
Thank you, Rowdy.
Thanks for everything.